This Albion Online video is about profits from lots of laborers, and I'm going to be going through over 200 laborers with these tier 2 Gamekeeper journals. I also have 15 of these Mercenary journals just because. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a timer, and we're going to see how long it takes for me to go through several islands worth of laborers. I'll show you the data after I'm done. And then 22 hours later, we'll collect the money, also, factoring in how much time that would take. And then we'll see what the silver per hour might kind of look like in that sense. But what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you the process. We're going to start the timer, and then we are going to go to these mercenary laborers and give them a book. And apparently, I have never given a mercenary laborer a book since the journal update, because I just got a journal reward. So as you can see here, it's pretty quick. If you're wondering how to do this, you just shift left click, and then that is how you quickly put the book in their inventory and send them on their way. So, yeah, let's see. I gotta click the right laborer. And I know this isn't the most optimal, setup or anything, but it is easy enough. Now, the remainder of the laborers on this guild island are simply some houses, alright? And in these, I have the skinners. I'm going to move that over so I can click it a little bit faster. And yeah, every tier 2 journal, which feels like nearly instantly when you're gathering, is going to return 57 tier 2 hide, which is free to refine if you wanted to, and you can make that profit go even crazier, even higher. But to do this one island, where are we at? 1 minute and 10 seconds? Alright, so there we go. That's 1 minute and 12 seconds, right? Now, I have, let me see how many more islands I have to do. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more islands to do. And I'm going to do that off camera, and I'm going to turn the timer back on. But I'm going to go ahead and time that, and I'll get back to you when I'm done. Alright, so that took about 14 minutes, 14 seconds. Now, I want to point out that once you return in 22 hours to collect the rewards, you would then immediately feed them another journal, thus keeping the cycle alive. So while the first time you do it, it's going to take another 14 minutes to collect the reward. After that, it would only be, if you factor in the extra clicks, we can just round up and say this took 15 minutes. So let me do a little bit of math now to see how much we can potentially earn, not from the mercenaries, just from these tier 2 Gamekeeper journals. So here's the pseudo math on this, and I'll tell you what I mean by pseudo math. So we processed 225 journals in 15 minutes. One journal is 57 tier 2 hide. One tier 2 hide is worth 69 silver. Therefore, we made 800, or we're potentially going to make 884,925. Of course, there's taxes. There's, this is all estimated, right? And then you could, 15 minutes goes into 1 hour 4 times. Therefore, laborers essentially are 3.5 million silver per hour when you think of it like this. Though it's not entirely exactly that amount, because you still have to fill the journals, right? You can't just go and fill 225 Gamekeeper journals like it's nothing. You would have to actually go gather, right? But, when you're skinning, you're still making 1 million silver per hour in a safe zone, in a blue zone. So now the question becomes, how many Gamekeeper journals can you fill in 1 hour? All right, here's some more napkin math for you. So we can fill about 80 to 82 journals per hour. I'm doing the math based on 80. And so in 11 hours and 15 minutes is how long it takes to fill 1 hour worth of journal processing on laborers. So every 11 hours and 15 minutes that you gather in a tier 4 blue zone, you earn 1 hour of processing the journals. All right, and so that's technically 12 hours, 15 minutes of effort for silver. And so this comes out to 14.5 million silver. I don't know why I put per hour. That's wrong. So yeah, not per hour. Let me delete that. Someone's gonna screenshot that and be like, "Look, Reddit, he's misinforming people." There we go. Okay, so that is 1.183 million silver per hour when it's all said and done. And at the end of the day, journals and laborers are an 18% boost in your overall income, because without journals, you're just making 1 million per hour. So, you're getting an extra 18%, which is pretty good, and I think that's worth doing. Now, for the amount of laborers I'm currently using, it's only 2 hours and 45 minutes a gathering. So if you were to, do that every day and then, process the journals every day, that's not too much of a commitment to have, some silver pouring into your account. It will never go away. There's no risk. It's completely safe. And it's a good way for players to earn silver to buy whatever it is they want in the game. Now, this isn't like a laborer or a, how to set up your islands guide, how to do the trophies and the beds and everything. That I've already made plenty of videos for that. But what this is, one thing I want to mention too, is that if you fail to pick up your laborer's loot within 7 real-life days, they keep the loot and your journal gets eaten. And you don't get it back, all right? You don't get it back. So I've had people, every time I make a laborers video, they're like, I gave my laborers blah, 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 and then when I came to pick it up, it wasn't there. What the hell? They, stole it. And, yeah, that's because you didn't pick it up in 7 days' time, so that happens. And it sucks when it happens, but maybe don't go on vacation, I guess. I don't know, man. Now, you may be wondering, but what about personal islands, huh? So, Benji, what about personal islands? So, you'll notice that this personal island, I have the one house here, some herb gardens that I'm not using. Because if you don't have premium active, you can't really grow things and profit. You only get to harvest half as many crops when you don't have premium active. But I have recently renovated this island because it used to be full of houses that would be used for mercenary laborers. You can see here, if you look at my mailbox, you see nothing but demolition of a building has started. And there's over 88 entries in the mailbox of just demolitions, okay? So obviously I've been, tearing down houses to make room for something else. And channel members actually got an entire tutorial, a guide, a video on what that would be. And just running that every day for 30 days would pay for well over half the cost. Well, actually more than half now, because premium's just starting to go down. But it would pay for over half of the cost of premium, and it would only take another, 15 minutes to harvest or so with all my islands, and then also a few other things you would have to set up to make the harvest worth it. But you can see here, I just have what is this? This is 311 tier 8 mercenary laborers sitting in a chest. No more work for the mercenary laborers. And I didn't process the journals before destroying the homes, unfortunately. I have 577 of these. Bro, back in the day, what we used to do for money, you would go to a tier 4 static zone, and you would kill mobs, and in 30 minutes, you would fill over 500 of these journals. It was so fast. And each of these is worth, maybe 3,000 to 4,000 silver or something. I forget exactly how much they're worth. But, I've got 200 of these, of these tier 5 ones, right? These things fill so fast, and they're good money. They generate good money, but, with the way fame farm changes have happened, the depths are the best place to fame farm now. And if you bring journals into the depths and you get downed by players, which you will get downed by players, you lose the journals. So you can't really fill journals in the depths anymore. And so, in my opinion, mercenary laborers simply aren't worth it, because if you're going to fame farm, you should only be fame farming in the depths. That's just how it is, right? And because you can't bring the journals anymore, you can, but there's such a high risk of losing them, you just lose money, even more money than you already lose in the depths, that it's just a no-brainer to swap out entire islands for other things. Like if I just pick, let's go to Cringendary's island, and you can see I haven't yet tore down the herb gardens, but everything else has been pretty much deconstructed completely. And the only reason I didn't tear down the herb gardens is simply because as a potion crafting, character here, they're like an emergency thing. If I need to grow a certain crop that just is emptied on the market, because sometimes whales will just buy out all of them. They'll just buy out everything. They will buy out all of the herbs on the market, and then you can't make any potions anywhere because some whale bought every single, raw ingredient in every town, and there's just, I guess you don't get to make potions that day. And then the price goes up, and it's like you're missing a sale, bro. And I keep a little bit of an emergency stash of random mats and supplies in case that happens, But it's been running low lately just because it's been happening a lot lately. There is currently in Albion, there is not that many people producing anymore. Everyone is so, like, even me, I'm a multi-billionaire, and you may be thinking, you only have 9 million silver, dude. No, I've got billions tucked away, okay? Billions. And and not just in, like, assets or items, but liquid silver, okay? I am sitting on lots of liquid at the moment, and, you know, I'm like, well, since people aren't really producing as much, that means the price is going up, and there might be more market opportunities, but, like, I already have enough. I have so much silver, I can't ever spend it all in anything. So, you know, I don't have a reason to really produce anything anymore, if that makes sense. But that's where the game is at right now. New players want to grow stuff, but they are paywalled behind no premium. And experienced players are so wealthy, they have no reason to build their wealth further beyond what they have. And so the markets are just running dry. Now, channel members know a little bit more of what I'm talking about here, but if I were to invest 1 billion silver into a bunch of islands with the thing that I have made for channel members, that means every single day it would print about 40 to 56 million silver, which would, every single day, after spending 1 billion silver, I would be able to buy premium once a day. And, you know, I've thought about it, right? But it would turn, it's not like, you know, oh, you just wake up and you get premium, right? It'd be like you wake up and you harvest crops, and you replant, and you do this, and you do that, and you do members-only stuff. And, I'm going to calculate how long that would take. Alright, so I did the calculations. It would take me about 3 hours a day, though technically the first day would take 9 hours, and then it would be 3 days of upkeep after, or I'm sorry, 3 hours of upkeep each day afterwards. And, that I would also need 72 more characters, which would be about 25 accounts more. And, you know, I already have 100 accounts. I don't feel like managing that many accounts anymore. Hell no. But no, the thing is that I would need 25 fresh accounts. I wouldn't be able to use accounts I already have for this method. But it is what it is. I think I've said too much. Channel members might be getting a little antsy that I'm leaking members-only secrets. But, guys, that's the video. I know I don't remember if I said, oh, let's wait 22 hours and pick up all the rewards. I already did the math for the rewards, okay? You don't have to wait 22 hours to get the results. I already showed you the results. But anyway, that's all I got. You guys, does anyone still use laborers? You know, I've been letting my books pile up. Look at my stash. I have like 999 of these stacked up, another 364. I've got to process a lot of these, and I have so much silver, I just don't care to process them, honestly. It is. I still have so many of these generalist trophy journals, too. I don't even level laborers anymore. I actually checked the labor market. I was like, I'm going to buy more stone cutters. And there weren't any for sale in Bridgewatch, and the higher tier ones were like 50 to 200,000. I'm like, well, maybe the market might come back. Perhaps growing and selling laborers is making a comeback on the Western server. But anyway, that's all I got. I'm super sick at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to make it. But if I do, I'll make a video where if I don't upload for like 6 months, it'll just come out and be like, hi guys, I'm Swole Benji. I'm dead. Whoops. You know, and let you guys know. But right now, you know, it just sucks. It's hard to play anything, so. Oh, by the way, last thing, if, you know, a lot of people want me to make Arc Raiders, you know, content. So if anyone wants to give me that game, here you go. Let me show on the screen. I hate to do this. I hate to e-bag, okay? I don't even like Arc Raiders. I don't think it's gonna last, but people keep wanting guides for this game. And, you know, I don't really have any energy, and I'm really sick, and I don't even think I'd play it that much, to be real. It's a $40 game. If you're some rich guy, and you just want to give me a game and be like, haha, I influenced the channel a bit, you can. If not, the thing is, I don't have anyone to play the game with, so it's kind of boring to play solo. There is literally nothing to play. I'm only playing Albion because I'm too sick to do anything. I'm too sick to lay down at the moment. Anyway, I don't know, man. Just like the video. Click the video on the right side of your screen if you don't. There's gonna be like a lot of traffic or something when you go driving, I guess.